Hi, welcome to my channel, and today I just want to talk about how I made a pivot from law to front-end web development. My name is Ozi. I'm a mom of two and a web developer. So in 2023, I decided to become a web developer. At that time, I really didn't even know what web development was. It was a whole journey. So let me give you a backstory to who I am. I read law and I practiced law for 6 months. So shortly after graduating from law school, I just realized that this is not for me, this is not for me. I made some career moves, worked in a bank. That wasn't for me, and I opened my own business where I baked cakes and confectionaries for 7 years. But the economical downturn on the country affected my business, so I had to shut that one down. Or while shutting it down, or before I even shut it down, I was making another career move, and this time I wanted to go into tech because I felt that with tech I would have more flexibility because that whole remote work thing was in vogue, and I wanted to do something that would transcend, like my income should transcend the country I'm in. So tech was where I was focusing on. Now, tech is just like a whole umbrella. Okay, what is tech? What aspects? Now, I made a lot of movements in trying to find what was the perfect fit for me. So at first I tried copywriting, I tried data analytics. I think those are the major ones I tried. And I learned something from each one. And that led me into front-end development because I could see that I liked building user interfaces, like what customers can see, like when you open the internet, what you can see. I like being part of that. Now, the mindset I had while making all these moves was, as soon as I realized that, okay, my bakery business was shutting down, immediately I started researching where I can pivot to. So this is my first advice to anyone that is trying to pivot careers or whatever situation. As soon as you get that thought, okay, you want to move into something else, I think you should act immediately on that thought and explore it to the fullest. So I started researching YouTube, Google. There wasn't ChatGPT then, but well, now it's easier for anyone to do that. So I did all of that and made progress in what I ended up doing. And then secondly, I would say, while pivoting, you should think in years, but act in days. So this means that give yourself like a long timeline. So I don't know what that would be for you. Like for me, I gave myself 3 years because I didn't want to have that added burden on me. Because as a millennial, you pivoting a situation is already scary. You have responsibilities, you might have families and a lot of things to think about, and now having to start from square one, because once you pivot to another situation, honestly speaking, you are starting from the beginning, and the worst thing is that you don't even know what you don't know, and mistakes will happen, which you have to learn from, and which is just the natural process of life. So when those mistakes come, if you're on a short leash, by which I mean a short timeline, you would feel the burden of that mistake, and your timeline, you might not even be able to continue the process. But when you give yourself a longer timeline, you know that, okay, you still have time, you learn from whatever happened, and you can keep it moving. But in doing that, in thinking in years, you have to act in days. And when I say act in days, is that you must show up for yourself every day and do what you have to do to achieve whatever timeline or the goal you've given yourself at that timeline. So think in years, act in days. Now, what I also did, which will lead me to my third point, is I named my year. So just like the Chinese people have the year of the dragon, the year of the pig, the year of the goat, I did that. I named 2023 for me was the year of tech because I wanted to focus on that year. I wanted everything to be on tech. So even my social media handles and all, I added a lot of people that were in front-end development. Like most of the celebrities or people I just followed just for following sake, I unfollowed them and added more tech people. So I wanted my whole ecosystem, my whole world to be tech related, which helped me focus. So when you think of it, when you name your year, is that you're telling yourself, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve this year. And it helps you filter out distractions, because a year can be such a long time and things happen. So you will forget what you were actually even supposed to do this year. But when you just have one goal, and it helps when you just have one goal, okay, this is what I'm going to achieve this year, it helps you filter out all the noise that the year can bring. And a bonus point is that when starting out a project, I know most people with the new year is, okay, new year, new me, January, this is what I'm going to do. I don't do that. My year actually starts in November. And when I say my year starts in November, I mean around that time, I find that around the close of the year, I always have a plan that I want to achieve. And usually it's around that November. So immediately I act it. So this still goes back to my first point. I act on that plan. I don't wait for January. And this helps because I just feel there's a lot of pressure in January. Oh, I have to do this, get to the gym, do things like, You start it November. And by November, you've learned the ins and outs, or a bit of the ins and outs of whatever you want to do. So you have like November, December to test run. Not discounting the fact that the new year, which is January, brings something new, but you have already started what you want to achieve in the next year. So you have like a pre-run of what you want to achieve in the following year. The three things I did while pivoting to front-end development was I acted immediately as soon as I knew I had to. I taught in years, but acted in this. That means I showed up for myself every day, gave myself a long timeline, and I named my year by saying this is the year of tech, to help me focus and filter out all the noise. And I try not to put pressure on the month of January, so I make sure that whatever I want to do, which also ties into the last point, is I act immediately. So this is what I did, and in the next video I will be going into details and sharing the resources that I used while pivoting into front-end development. I hope this was helpful to you. In any situation you can apply these points. See you in my next video.